What is up, everyone? Welcome to another week of the YouTube PvP Championships, in which in this week I'll be facing off against R2THEOLDY. If you want to know more about the YouTube PvP Championships, check out the first video I made on it. I go into more detail about the format there. Link in the description down below. Anyway, let's get into these battles first. R2THEOLDY, who's running a team with Alolan Grimer, Slowbro, Machamp, Hypno, Pidgeot, Drifblim, Vigoroth, and Kanto, Sandslash, very important, not Alolan, which is what I thought for the first 4 battles. I thought I was facing Alolan Sandslash, because the way we share teams with each other is just, you know, a list of Pokemon. So I saw Sandslash, and I was like, that's Alolan, right? It didn't occur to me that it would just be regular Sandslash, which, now that I think of it, it makes a lot of sense, because there's also an Alolan Sandslash on another team. So yeah, the first like 4 teams I make are with Alolan Sandslash in mind. My Trevenant, for example, actually looks very strong versus this team. Only really has trouble with Grimer and Pidgeot. Besides that, it kind of collapsed, but I don't bring it because I was expecting the Alolan Sandslash. Overall, this matchup looks kind of rock, paper, scissors, to be honest. He has hard counters for everything on my team. I have hard counters for everything on his team. Besides Manabuzz, actually. My Manabuzz is really strong against him. But again, first games, I thought it was Alolan Sandslash. So I don't really use my Manabuzz ultimately. Anyway, let's get into these battles. Manabuzz versus Grimer. This is a pretty neutral matchup. I think Grimer generally does win this though, because Air Slash, Aerial Ace, 2 not that great moves, and Poison Jab, Sludge Bomb, pretty good move. So even though Manabuzz is way more tanky than Grimer, Grimer has a very good shot here. I'm happy that it's on here though, because my Zard doesn't like to switch. I only throw 1 Aerial Ace before dipping into Politoed though. I was running Politoed as like a safe Pokemon here. It doesn't really beat anything on Steam like super hard. It's like a safe Pokemon. I wasn't expecting the Slowbro at all, but here it is. I thought there was no way he's gonna bring out Slowbro, because it really sucks versus Manabuzz, Trevenant, Magnezone gets destroyed by Ferrothorn. If I have Earthquake on Politoed, it's not even that great there. So I wasn't expecting it, but here we go. I just got hard countered with my Politoed versus that Slowbro. Luckily, I was able to burn a shield though. That is good. But this thing is gonna get to 1 Ice Beam, and it might even be able to get to another Ice Beam, which is, yes, it does. And it's very devastating for my Manabuzz. I'm gonna have to let it go and then hope I can sweep with Zard. I could have shielded that. But the thing is, I was worried for potential Machamp in the back. That would make sense to me. And in that case, I can't shield, because then the Machamp just double Rock Slides, kills my Manabuzz and it kills my Zard. It ends up being Hypno in the back though, which, well, in that case, it would have been better if I shielded probably. But still, this might be possible. If I can Blast Burn this Hypno to death and then Drain Claw the Grimer, I might be okay. In comes the Grimer here. I'm gonna have to build up to a Drain Claw plus a Blast Burn in order to kill both the Grimer and Hypno, but I'm not able to do so, and I get killed by the Grimer before I get to enough energy. GG. R2THEOLDY takes the first match. He's made me kind of worried about that Slowbro, so this time I bring the same lineup with Magnezone in the middle. I think Magnezone is very like flexible against his team as well. Against everything but the Kanto Sandslash, Wild Charge basically almost one-shots. And you have to remember, at this time, I still thought it was an Alolan Sandslash. So, yeah, I didn't realize that there was a hard wall to Magnezone on the team. Luckily, it ends up working out, though, because he ends up switching in Pidgeot, which makes sense, because it was strong as my previous line, but not strong as Magnezone. I was just gonna wall that, and then he brings in Machamp again. So luckily for me, he didn't bring the Kanto Sandslash. And go for another Wild Charge here, take a shield, and because I'm so debuffed, he only gets like 3 counters. I bring in Manabuzz here, it's gonna outpace me to a move here barely. This could potentially be the Rock Slide, because he did throw 7 counters. So I shielded up, just in case. I was assuming it was gonna be a bait actually, but I can't really risk it at that point. Even if he baits, that is so fine. Here comes a Drifblim, and this should be basically over for them. Just gonna let this go at this point. I'm more worried about the charge moves from a champ. This foul play doesn't knock out the Drifblim, of course, especially since I'm debuffed. But we'll put it in a range where Charizard should be able to kill it with a Dragon Claw, and I'm gonna do that. I think this is on the CMP tie. right before they can get to the Icy Wind. And it does luckily kill them. And now the Machamp should be easy. Yeah, I get to the Dragon Claw. And that is a GG. 1 win on the board for both of us now. Third game, I pick up an amazing lead with the Magnezone into the Pidgeot. R2THEOLDY brings in the Grimer. I'm just gonna Wild Charge here and then dip into my Mandibuzz. Which, oh man, I was hoping to catch a Crunch, but unfortunately I don't get it. He probably just waited with throwing his move. Very smart, throws the Sludge Bomb into the Mandibuzz here. I think he outpaces me even. Oh no, barely doesn't outpace me. I get to do Aerios before, but Aerios is such a crappy move. I'm not gonna be able to farm this thing down before it gets another Sludge Bomb, I think. I let this move go. And it does end up being a Sludge Bomb, that's good. But I think he gets to another one before I can farm down. I was really hoping this was a Crunch, but I think it's Sludge Bomb and I can't afford to shield at this point. Because then Magnezone's Zard shields down are just look great. And with Pidgeot lead, it could definitely be like a Machamp in the back. And if it's Machamp in the back, I really, really need shields for Zard. Because then, if not, I'm just going to get swept. Here comes Hypno though, which is also not bad for the Zone. Zone really has a lot of good matchups this game, so it's good to see. I'm going to go for another Wild Charge at this point. Zone has done as much work as it has to. I'm just going to let it go. To whatever punch this is, probably Fire Punch. Yes, that's what I would run against my team as well. And then in comes the Pidgeot, but Zard just outpaces this thing barely to a Blast Burn. And this will basically knock out the Pidgeot. And then I should be able to farm down the Hypno too, right? Yeah, farm it down right before we can get to the Fighter Dance. And then, oh, still gonna get close though. Yeah, just farm it down. I could have thrown the Dragon Claw there, but I knew I could Fire Spin down anyway. So I do that, and it's another GG. He doesn't seem to be bringing the Slowbro anymore, which makes me feel safe with a Politoed. And I expect to see more fighters from him. Since all my lines, or all my previous lines that have won have had Magnezone. So I'm pretty sure it's pretty worried about. So I'm expecting to see a fighter here, which is why I bring the Trevenant. I lead into a Hypno though, which is not, well, it's okay for Politoed, but I have two better answers in the back, so I'm just going to switch one in right here in my Mandibuzz. Actually staying into the Hypno, which is really good for me. Here comes a Vigoroth here. Fighter, like I said, coming in. Not the best fighter for Mandibuzz though, because Vigoroth can actually take this, especially with the Thunder Punch damage he got already. Vigoroth can take this. I should be able to take a shield though, at least from the Vigoroth with my next foul play, or take it out and take switch advantage. Either one, honestly, fine with me. Politoed is not the worst versus Hypno. He can actually farm me down all the way here, but luckily he opts not to. Even if he had farmed me down all the way though, I could have soaked all that energy on Trevenant and it wouldn't have even done that much. Talk about soaking energy. I'm just gonna farm up a lot here. He actually ends up running Sandslash in the back. Kantos, this is the moment I realize it is not an Alolan Sandslash. It is a Kanto Sandslash. And I'm like, wow. I should have been running the tree all along. But luckily, very, very happy that the moment he runs Kanto Sandslash, I was actually running a team triple strong against it. So, yeah. That ended up working out really well for me. Really well. Even gets a boost there, but it's fine. Just farm it down all the way. And now, Vigoroth, Hypno really aren't much of a challenge. I was expecting to catch here, so I don't end up throwing, but probably could have thrown before that body slam. Anyway, if he wants to catch a Seed Bomb on the Hypno, that's also fine. I should be fine no matter what. But yeah, I end up Seed Bombing with Vigoroth, and now I can Shadow Ball the Hypno. And that is another good game. Since I ran a team triple strong to Sandslash last game, I'm expecting him to not bring this game. So I feel very safe leading Magnezone here into the Grimer, actually. This is not bad for Zone. I can take a Crunch, Wild Charge, almost kills them. Maybe I should shield this, because it does do a lot, but... actually drop my defense, and they make a really nice catch into the Sandslash. I actually did bring it. I felt pretty safe just throwing that move. Normally I'm more careful with catches, you know, like waiting a turn, making sure they can't catch. But this time I was like, you know, even if he switches into a fighter, That's very fine with me. Because then they still got Wild Charge, but it ends up being Sand Slash, not what I was expecting. And also, they actually got 2 boosts in a row here. You couldn't see the next boost, but I did hear it. I did hear it. So yeah, they boosted twice already. So this is not great. I would have farmed this thing all the way down, but I couldn't because of those boosts. Unfortunately, still get a lot of energy on my Mandibuzz though. I'm gonna get some aerial aces off on this Grimer, and with Grimer out of the way, I'm pretty confident. That my Trevenant can sweep, because I don't think they switched in a Sand Slash versus my Magnezone when they let Grimer into it. There's no way they have Pidgeot in the back, right? There's no chance they have Pidgeot in the back, because that will be extremely weak against my Magnezone. Never mind, they have Pidgeot in the back. Yeah, this is game over. this is game over no matter what. I have much too little health on my Magnezone at this point, unfortunately, to be able to take out this Pidgeot. I probably should have shielded something, kept my Mandibuzz a little healthy, but no, it's not gonna happen. Unfortunately. But you know what? It's fine. I still went 3-2 in this set, so we still take the W. Still undefeated of YouTube PvP Championships. So if I go undefeated again next week against Dan Ottawa, actually make it to the finals, or I think the semifinals of the YouTube PvP Championship. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to see more. Also, make sure to check out R2THEOLDY's side of these battles on his channel. I'll put a link to his video down in the description below. Anyway, thank you all for watching. See you next time. Good luck in your battles.